Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Greenbridge Community Housing Podcast at Luton. We're joined today by Jackie. I know you are the PA to Sally, the Mayor of Dunstable.
That's right, yeah.
But today we're here to talk about something much more personal and close to your heart. And hopefully this podcast, I know it's going to be emotional, so for anyone watching, grab your tissues now. It's really around hoping to prevent or help someone that was in the same situation as your son Michael, who unfortunately took his own life. And obviously that's a massive impact on the family.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming in to share something so personal. I know Michael was the groundsman at Leeds Football Club.
That's right, yeah.
How long did you do that for?
He was there for just over 5 years.
Right, because people don't realise that the things behind the scenes, like the catering and the grass cut, all the things that are necessary, the kit wash,
Yeah.
all of I've done that for years. I'm sure you have as well. All those things that make up a football club. It's nice that they get recognised by the club and by the supporters as well, because they really, really do appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about Michael first.
Okay, so he was born in 1992. He was my second child. And when Michael was born, they discovered that he had something wrong with his body, and it turned out he had Poland syndrome. So all the left side of his body was lacking in muscle. So this caused him to have webbed toes, webbed hand on one hand. He was tongue-tied, but also his left hand was a lot smaller than his right hand.
Right.
So all through his very early years, he was going through plastic surgery and to cut the webs and to build up his fingers and that thing. And they said, he'd always have a very small hand. It'd always be too small. When he got to about 12, 13, he was talking to the plastic surgeon. He went, well, can't you just stretch my fingers? So he went in and he had like all scaffolding put on his fingers. And I used to have to turn the dials on this scaffolding and it made his fingers grow.
Wow.
But he was in and out of hospital continually. We started off at Great Marsden, and from there we went on to Hampstead to the Royal Free, and that's where he continued all his surgery. And in the end, as he got to a teenager, and they sort of said, well, your body's sort of fully developed now. So they gave him a chest reduction one side, and then a chest extension, if you like, the other, made him a nipple, made him a belly button, gave him an armpit, all these things. But he had it all done just under local anaesthetic because he wouldn't have the general. He didn't like being out of it. So while he was awake. So while his surgeon was doing it, he was talking to his surgeon. And just getting this, it was a very, very strange thing. And I'm going, are you sure? No, go on, you'll be fine. No, Mum, I'll be fine. I'm a man, I can do this.
Bless
and
him.
he did. He finished school, was in and out of a few jobs. And then he got caught up in the drug scene, owed people quite a bit of money. And again, it all got really too much for him. And one day he came home and he just said to me, Mum, I'm leaving. I don't want to leave. I need to get away. I need to get away from this area.
Right.
I need to get away from these people.
Right.
I just need to go. Obviously, I was devastated. I begged him to stay. Yeah, I was almost like a woman possessed. Please don't go. Please don't. Let me help you. No, I need to do this.
And how old was Michael at that time?
So Michael would have been about 23, 24.
Still quite young.
So still quite young. So he said, I'll do it. I'll be in touch. So he went.
He just left that day?
And he just left that day. He took nothing with him.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all. Only what money he had.
And the clothes on his back?
Clothes on his back. And I gave him some money.
Right.
that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And he went. And I thought my world had ended then.
Right.
My son had gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm.
Time ticked by. And then about 12 months later, he got in touch.
So you had no contact with Michael?
No contact.
For a year?
No. Now, my husband had a mobile phone for Michael on contract. And he said, I'm not going to stop the contract. I want the contract to continue because while he's got a phone, he can get in touch. He can call you. So on this one particular occasion, a phone bill came through and it had a list of all the numbers that obviously Michael had been calling. I went, they've all got the same area code. So looking it up, we found out then he was in Leeds.
Right.
So we knew then where he was and that he was alive.
Right.
Yeah. He then got in touch and, sort of quite tearful, etc. I said, tell me what you've been up to. And he said that he'd got the train to London. And
the day that he left?
The day that he left. And the options were just up on the board. Where do I go? And he went, I fancy going to Leeds. So he jumped on a train and he went to Leeds. He had no plan.
Nothing.
So this first night that he was there, this gentleman approached him from like an outreach group and said, come on, let's get you warm, let's get you some food. It's bitter sort of cold sort of thing. And he went with this gentleman and he was talking to him and he said, why are you here? And Michael wouldn't open up. So he said, look, we can offer you some rehabilitation. If it's the drugs, if it's the drink, we can help you. We can get you through that. We can give you somewhere warm to stay. We can make sure you've got a meal and help you. And he said, and I went with it, Mum. He says, and I don't know why, but it just seemed that it was the right thing to do. So we're now 12 months down the line and this charity had opened up a cafe and Michael was working in this cafe. So he was now getting some money. Yeah. So although he was like getting benefits, he could then spread and do a bit more. And he'd abstained from the drink, abstained from the drugs. He'd made new friends and he seemed to be getting his life sorted out. And he said, I'm going to stay with it. Because I said to him, will you come home? And he went, no, I'm going to stay with it, Mum, because I think this is my answer. I think this is what I'm looking for. A new start, away from all the trouble.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I know you're well. I know you're alive. Keep in touch. Yes. So he did.
Can you name the name of the charity?
I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I will definitely find it out.
If you could, because it's really important that it's such a, just by meeting a stranger.
Yeah, I know.
Changes your whole world.
Yeah.
And it's great that if we can not showcase, that's not the right word.
But give them the
recognition
credit that they deserve. Absolutely.
For helping a young man in need.
Yeah.
If you can find that out, that'd be great.
Out for you. Yeah. So this charity then were out searching for work for Michael so that he could get back into the workplace. They moved him out of, he called it the crypt, so whether that's where they were staying, and that's what it was called. So they moved him out of there into a house share.
With other people.
And then started to get a job. And this gentleman who was quite high up in the charity came to Michael and said, look, I might be able to get you a job at Leeds United as an apprentice. Do you fancy it? Michael loved the outdoors.
Yeah.
If he could wear shorts in 6 inches of snow, he would.
Like my postman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I always
right.
said he should have been a postman because he was just continually in shorts.
Yeah.
But he did love the outdoor. He loved the sport, everything. And he says, I'll definitely give it a try, sort of thing. And that's how it started. So he started off then being an apprentice at Leeds United. Then, obviously, COVID hit and everything else. And he met a young lady who we thought was absolutely wonderful. And we loved her to bits, and we were so pleased for him because he had then made another connection. They moved in together. Leeds United offered him a full-time position, so he came off of the apprenticeship and started working full-time for Leeds. Everything was really quite rosy. His girlfriend fell pregnant. I think Michael got a bit of the money troubles. I think the freedom and the lack of knowledge of how to use money, oh, well, I've earned my money, but now he was living, he needed to pay bills, and again, that sort of drowned him. And he'd suffered with his mental health. He'd spoke to Leeds about his mental health, and they'd got him some counselling and some things like that. So he knew what he needed to do.
Yeah.
But he was very much well, I'm better now.
Right.
I can do what, I'm good. Yeah. He was an alcoholic, but he thought once he stopped drinking, he was no longer an alcoholic. And it doesn't work like that. Once an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. The temptation is always there. His little boy was born, and they called him Michael as well, so he's Michael Jr.
Right.
And they went through some very rough patches, and in the end, she said, you've got to go, you need to go.
Right.
I can't do this, I can't cope with it. Fair enough. He went to stay with some friends, and again it was a bit of a spiral.
Yeah.
But I said, come on, keep strong. You can do this. The help's out there. You've had the help before. You can go back. They'll have you back, and they'll help you again. No, I'm fine. I'm just going to work, and I'm just doing this, and I'm just doing that. So every
there was
time,
continual communication between you, Michael, and yourself throughout this whole time.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did he ever come back home?
Yes, he'd come back. I'd send him money up, and he'd get the coach, and I'd pick him up from Milton Keynes.
As mothers do,
as you
drop
do.
them back.
You drop them back with
a sack full of food.
Money in their pocket.
Yeah. I'm getting all emotional just talking about it.
You've gone shopping, and all of a sudden you've got toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant. Oh, I need some of that. Or I'll take some gums, and I'll take some sweets and biscuits.
Yeah.
And by the time you've finished, your bill's doubled the price of what it normally
of course.
was.
Yeah.
And he's on the coach with these carrier bags
full of shopping.
But I knew he'd be all right then for a couple of weeks.
Of
or
course,
whatever.
yeah.
It's just a mother instinct.
Yeah, 100%. I hear that.
And and we just sort of thought, okay, we'll leave it. Yeah, everything's pootling along. He knows where we are. He'd phone me sort of almost every day to check in. Usually because he was on a bus going home.
Right.
And he wanted that boredom. Mum, you can feel the boredom.
Fill the gap.
Fill the gap, And, it's always love you too,
Yeah,
see you soon. Won't be long before you're down. And we sort of look to that next time coming down.
Yeah.
So then in September last year, he'd phoned me and he said, Mum, I'm really struggling. I think I need just to come home for a bit. Is that all right? Yep.
Yep.
I'll send you the money. You get your bus. I'll pick you up. We'll talk when you get here. He came down and he was here for about almost a week. And, you know, we sat, we talked through things. And I just said, please, if you need help, find your help. You know you've got friends. You know you can do this. You know, people want to help. I said, please, just don't get too low.
No.
No, Mum, no, you know me. I'll bounce back. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And then this one particular Thursday in October, it'd just been his birthday, sent birthday card, you know, the usual messages, etc. Then the Thursday after his birthday, I got a phone call from the HR department at Leeds United. Have you seen Michael? Has Michael been in touch today? I said, no, not at all. I said, what's the problem? Oh, he came to work this morning, but he's walked out of work. I went, okay. She says, and I don't want to alarm you, she says, but we've called the police because obviously we know of Michael's mental health issues. We've called the police to report him as a missing person because obviously we've got a duty of care. I says, okay. She says, if by sort of 5 o'clock he hasn't got in contact with you, will you let me know? I said, yeah, of course I will. So, of course, my mind's churning.
Yeah.
I phoned my daughter. She says, have you had a phone call from... Yeah, I've had a phone call. And she'd had a very similar phone call. She said, Mum, what do you want to do? I says, Emily, I want to go up there. I says, I need to go...
To wherever
he's missing, I need to go to. So we did no more, got home, got in the car, we drove up to Leeds, went to the police station, we took some photographs, so we could give some proper ID for him. And as a matter of chance, I sort of told them all about his scars from all his different operations, so they had a really clear ID for him. And they said, there's nothing you can do here. Go home. We've got it under control. Where are you going to search? You're in a city. We'd have more help, with our police on the streets. We'll put his photo out. So they did that. They put his photo out. And we gave,
straight away?
Yeah. We gave consent for a Facebook post to be put up.
As a missing
Have
person.
you seen him?
Yeah.
They'd searched CCTV and they had one image of him on the CCTV, which was about 10:15 that morning. In an industrial estate in Leeds somewhere. And that was the last sort of known sighting. So time was ticking and obviously the police were then in contact. The days were sort of now rolling by and nobody had seen or heard.
And what day are we on now?
So by the Monday, the police phoned and said, we're going to up the search. He
went missing on the Thursday. We're now at Monday.
We're going to really up the search now.
And no image of him from 10 a.m. that Thursday morning to the Monday.
No. Hadn't used a bank card because we gave him bank details that we knew of.
Not used his phone.
Not used his phone. Nothing on his phone. They were waiting for his phone to ping. They had contacted the local bus company to see if any of their CCTV, but obviously that's such a long process.
Yeah.
So they was just sort of waiting, but they said we're going to really now up the search. So we're going to go to where this last CCTV image was taken, and we're going to start searching there, and we're going to lead the search from there outwards.
So that's from the industrial estate at 10 o'clock on that Thursday.
So they went to where this image was, and what it is, it's a bridge, and it's a river canal that divides into two. So there's two bits of river that go down. with a grass verge in the middle, but a public footpath as well. Lots of trees, lots of greenery that basically hides all the buildings. But it's where they walk dogs, cycle, that kind of thing. So they put sort of pictures up along there. Have you seen Michael? Obviously, they sort of searched the area. Nothing came up. So then they started widening the search, but they also dived into the river because there'd been nothing. Didn't get nothing either side. There was just no evidence. There was nothing in there at all. So they're keeping us in touch.
So you've come home now?
We're at home now,
right,
because they said there's just nothing you can do.
Right.
We've got no family up there. We've got no friends up there.
No.
So, we were looking then we were going to have to, go into a hotel.
Yeah.
So we were at home and they were just sort of in constant contact with us. Anytime they thought they might have a lead, they were informing us, this is what we're doing. Then about 3 weeks lapsed and we got a phone call.
So 3 weeks have gone past now.
With just this same process
of them keeping in touch with you, letting you know.
No one on Facebook seeing anything. Everyone, sending their love to us, and which was quite emotional. Because we were still hoping he'd got a friend in Manchester, a friend in Liverpool, and gone sofa surfing. Anything. So at this time, our thoughts weren't even thinking of anything else.
Right.
We were only thinking, he's got to be out there.
Because he'd already gone for that year with no contact.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what was your and your husband's and your daughter's state of mind during the 3 weeks? Is a long
It is a long time. We kept as positive as we could because we had to hold on to something.
Some hope. Yeah.
There had to be some hope. Something had to have happened, or someone said, come on, let's go to a rave, let's go to a party, let's do this. And, he's in a field somewhere.
Yeah.
If he's back on the drugs or he's back on the drink or whatever. So, so this 3 weeks had passed. We got a phone call from the detective up in Leeds, and he said, did Mike have a credit card? So Emily said to me, did Mike have a credit card? And I went, not as far as no, but he could have.
Yeah.
There's so many credit card options out there now.
Yeah.
So I said, why? And we were speaking to the police officer, and they said, well, they had a payment come out of his bank account, which is sort of like the only one at the time, to this credit card company. Do you mind if we trace it? No, please.
Please do. Yeah.
Fill your boots. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So they traced this credit card transaction, and it was 9:25 on that Thursday morning.
Before the sighting at 10:10.
On the camera.
On the camera.
Yeah. And it was actually two payments that he'd done in shops literally next door to each other. So one was an off licence, and he'd bought a big bottle of wine, not a good sign. And the next one was from a general store next door, and he'd bought a washing line. And on that day, my world had stopped. I knew then.
As a mother,
I knew from that day, those two words ended me there and then. So the police then said, we're going to go back to where the CCTV was, because obviously there's lots of trees, there's lots of greenery, and we're going to conduct a fingertip search. And as soon as we find anything or know anything, or if it's clear, we'll let you know. they said that there was a really big football match and all staff were on this football match on this Saturday. So it might not be till Sunday. But did you do it? And then on that Sunday, it was about 10:30 in the morning, and the phone rang, and I knew, and they phoned to say that they'd found Michael on that day, and my world just ended there and then, just absolutely ended. They said that fortunately, where he'd done it, there'd been a storm that evening, on that Thursday evening, and it had broke the branch. Oh. So where he'd done it, the branch had then broke, so he was on the floor, surrounded by flowers and greenery, but nobody had to find him. No member of the general public had to find him hanging, because he was on the floor. So anyone who was out walking their dog, just having a leisurely walk, would not have had to face seeing that, because he was on the floor, which is the only good thing I can take from taking 3 weeks to find him, was the fact that nobody of the general public found him. Nobody's got to live with that for the rest of their life, and that image. So what it was, that up the side of this walkway was like a hill, and they hadn't gone up this hill to look or anything. They'd literally just walked straight past it, sort of in the... So he'd obviously gone up this hill, saw this tree, and then he was down in almost like just almost a ditch. But in this ditch there were flowers and there was greenery, and I went to see it afterwards, and it was beautiful. And I said then that I could see why he chose that space, why he chose where he'd gone. He'd obviously been there before to know it was there.
Right.
Because it was beautiful, it was peaceful. He wouldn't be seen at all from either side or from any of the factories. It was just serene and just so peaceful. So that was that day. So they took him to a mortuary in Bradford, and the coroner said there's no shadow of a doubt it happened that day. It happened that Thursday. So he hadn't gone off, he hadn't done anything. He'd literally gone from that bridge to that spot, drunk the bottle of wine. There was no phone, nothing, so that had obviously gone into the river. Took his coat off, and then did what he did. And and my biggest regret is that he didn't phone me that morning. He didn't phone and say to me, "Mum, I need you more now than I've ever needed you," because I would have just dropped everything and I would have been there. And I know it's not a 10-minute journey, it's a 3-hour journey, but if I could have spoke to him that whole way while I was driving and just said, "I'm coming to get you. Yeah, your mum's coming, and I'll get you." But I didn't get that opportunity. I didn't get the opportunity to say goodbye, to hold him, to tell him that I loved him. I missed out on all of that. And that is very hard to deal with. And I know my husband, Matt, he feels exactly the same. never got to say, so proud of you. I mean, we always told him we were proud of him, you know, when he got his job at Leeds, when he got his promotion, all those kind of things. We always told him we loved him. So he was never lacking in any of that. But on that particular day, when he needed us the most, and we weren't there.
You didn't have any control over that,
Because
Jackie.
we had no control, but the guilt of living with that. Why, as a mother, didn't I know?
You can't know everything as a mother. They do, you know, children are exceptionally clever. And you think, you know, you've got it all together and they tell you everything and they share. I don't know whether it's girls or boys. My boys, I think I'm quite fortunate that they tell you 90% of what you need to know. But I don't want to know about that 90% because as mothers, we already know the 90%. It's the 10% that you don't talk about.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The purpose of this podcast, even though it's really, really emotional, is to say to anyone that's watching or listening or going through the same, just pick up the phone.
Pick up that phone.
And say, Mum, Dad, Sister,
I need you.
I need you. And like you say...
Please come now.
Yeah. And that journey, like you said, the phone call would have made... You don't know. He might have done it anyway.
Absolutely.
But I can't even begin to imagine the heartbreak that causes for a family. I know dads are just as important, but a mum and son bond, you can't describe it.
No.
Like mother and daughter, you can't describe the emotions you feel when they're at school and they get hurt or someone's not nice to them or the teacher shouts or you want to stick up for them and you want to be there. Like you want to say, well, what's your problem? This person's a child, you know, is a child. So I can't even begin to imagine as a mother what you're going through, but you've been so strong to come in and share the heartbreaking story of what happened to Michael and why it's important that our boys talk to someone. He might not have needed to call you.
No.
Could have called the lady at Leeds Football Club and said, I'm having a bad day. Can I sit in a room for a minute? I just need
to clear my head.
And then someone would have then called you, etc., etc.
Absolutely.
So there's lots of things to learn from. It's also about being observant. People don't just go overnight. They don't.
No.
This
was planned.
Yeah.
Behaviour
changes.
He'd obviously thought he was going to do it at some point to know, right, I'm going to walk here, I'm going to go past this shop, I'm going to pick up a bottle of wine, I'm going to pick up the line, and I'm going to walk to this industrial estate, and I know exactly where I'm going to do it, and it's going to be so quiet because everyone will be in the factories at that time. There'll be no one around. Dog walkers will have been, you know. I can be me doing what I want to do.
And I think the message is, can we be more observant in terms of behavioural change? He probably would have been a bit more quiet, probably wouldn't have spoken as much, maybe not as attentive to his job, thinking, I didn't cut that bit of grass. You know, it's just, there's little things. There's little things that people display, but we're all so busy rushing around that we forget.
That September when he that call for help then, when he came down, should I have said, have another week, stay another week? I mean, he wanted to go back. I didn't. I didn't say, right, that's it, you're off. Should I have said, are you sure you're ready? Do you need some more time? You're all right staying here? I'll phone work for you. But no, he said no.
And you have to trust what he's saying.
He was 32.
Yeah, you have to trust.
He wasn't an 18-year-old. He was 32.
And probably looked great and was in a good space.
Absolutely.
And as a mum, you're going to go, okay, I need to let them have. We want to smother them, don't we? I mean, I know smother mine, so if they're watching, they'll say, oh my God, she's a nightmare. And I am, for that reason.
Yeah.
But we can't be held accountable for every movement,
No.
every emotion,
No.
every eventuality. Could more have been done at the point of the police getting involved?
My feeling on that is, why didn't they search that area properly in the first place?
That's my question. That was going to be my next question.
Why?
I mean, no disrespect to the
No,
police.
absolutely.
Because we all need them and they're doing a fantastic job.
Fabulous,
They're under
yeah.
pressure.
Why did it take 3 weeks?
Yeah, that's the next question.
You know, Emily and I explained to them how fragile his mental state was. Which is why they upped the game straight away anyway. It wasn't just a normal, someone's just gone off and what have you. That was what they were circulating on, was his mental health. But why didn't they walk up the banks and look? And no, it would not have changed the conclusion.
No. But the pain would have been less.
But 3 weeks of hoping and praying and just trying to be positive. I knew in my heart. I'm not going to lie.
Straight away.
I knew. I knew. But Matt was keeping positive, and
That's
Emily
your husband,
was,
Matt. Yeah.
And Emily was keeping positive.
And you didn't want to shatter that for them?
No.
No.
I'd already started grieving. I grieved that day when they phoned me
to say
and said
he's gone.
He's gone missing. I mean, he told me he had tried once before, but that was going back 2-3 years.
Right. Was that the first time you'd heard that he'd tried to commit suicide?
Yeah. And I said, how? And he said, pills and vodka. I went, okay. He went, I just got a stomachache. I said, Michael, why? He said, so it just happened, Mum. He said, my head just blew and I just didn't know what else to do. And I said, you've picked the phone up, you call me. You tell me you need me and I come. That's what you do. I mean, he was very much a mummy's boy. Because we'd spent so much time together in and out of hospitals and, you know, I knew him like I knew the back of my hand, but I didn't know him at all. And I didn't, and that hurts as well as a mother, you know, because it's like you say, it's those signs, it's looking for those things, and it's just to keep reminding these men, these boys, that there are places out there that will help. If you can't talk to your mum, if you haven't got a group of friends, there are places that you can go, that they will listen and they will take you seriously.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is because people think, oh, they're not going to listen to me. They think I'm mucking about. But we can't afford to be thinking like that.
No.
If someone says to you, I really want to end it, you need to take action.
Yeah, quickly.
You take it then.
Yeah, 100%.
Not after.
No, it's too late.
It's too late.
Too late.
It's too late. And I feel I'm too late, obviously, to save my son. But if I can help anyone to save their son, or to have any family not go through what we've gone through, the heartache and the pain, I've never known pain like it. And I never, ever want to witness it again. And, I mean, I'm very lucky I've got a strong, supportive family around me. You know, my husband, my daughter, I've got my mum, I've got a sister with her children. We are close. We are a close family. And yeah, every day when Michael was missing, there was a house full of people.
Yeah.
What do you know? What do you know? Shall we go up? No, we can't go. It's not, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But we did go up.
Yeah.
You know, my sister went up, my niece went up, my daughter went up, just to look round, just to hand out leaflets, anything. But further on from that family unit, people are there. People come to a funeral. People send messages and cards of sympathy. And people go.
Soon stops.
And it stops. And I still, every day, I wake up to another day. I egg myself out of bed to function. You know, when people say, how you doing?
I'm fine.
I'm functioning. I'm functioning. I'm up. I'm at work. I'm doing this. But we've now gone a complete whole circle now. From the day he went missing and everything. We've done the first birthdays. We've done the first Christmas, New Year, you know, holidays, those kind of things. We've done all those firsts this year. And they've all been the hardest ones ever.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I mean, last Monday was the anniversary of getting the phone call to say that they'd found him.
Was that the day you put the picture up on socials?
The day we put the picture up on the socials was actually on his first anniversary.
Right. It was a beautiful picture.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a
Just
beautiful
you and him smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful photo.
And, yeah, I'll never get that back. And all I've got now is my memories. It's all we have got is memories that are left. So when I see mums with boys, especially, you know, sometimes I'll go up and I'll just say, beautiful boy, hug him tight tonight. And it just gives me that, because it's something I can't ever do. I can never hug my boy again. And he was a hugger.
Which is unusual for boys.
Yeah, he was, you know, as soon as he stepped off the coach from Leeds, he'd drop his bags, you know, like an old film, drop the bags and run in to hold, and he'd swing me round. And, Mum, love you so much. And it's those things I miss. The phone calls on the bus on the way home from work. They're just, how's day? What have you been doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what have you done, Mick? I cut the grass. You know, it was the same conversation. But it was
contact.
our conversation.
Yeah.
It was our conversation.
What support, Jackie, if any, are you getting?
I had some counselling support through work, which you get six sessions. I've made contact with someone at Chums, and I'm now getting some help through that. But for families, there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. And my daughter Emily, she's been so brave. You know, it's a lot for her to take in, because she's trying to deal with her grief, but she's also trying to help me and be strong for me. And she's setting up a group. It actually starts next Thursday night. So it's at Dunstable Town Football Club in our community hub. And it's called Marching Together 32. So Leeds United, their anthem is Marching On Together. So she sort of condensed that a little bit. And 32 is obviously Michael's age. So to us, he'll forever be 32.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a drop in for a coffee, chat. Anyone who's been affected by suicide, whether it be a son, a husband, a daughter, whatever, just to meet like-minded people. Just to have that chat. How did you cope? How did you feel? I felt like that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I've got that same guilt.
Yeah.
I've got those same unanswered questions that we're never going to get answers to. But if we can all talk about it freely and not feel you're being judged by somebody, because sometimes you do feel that, then it can only be for the good.
Yeah. So just remind us about where the group... I know it's a Dunstable Town Football Club at the Community Hub.
At the Community Hub,
What day is next
So it's next Thursday. It's our first one.
Right.
And it's from 6:30.
6:30
till 8 o'clock.
Till 8 o'clock. Okay. I'll come along.
Do come along.
Yeah, I'd love to be involved and see if there's anything I can do to help and support.
Yeah. Maybe you know some people that might want to come in and
along.
Talk to the families.
That'd be a good idea. See if we can get somebody to come along.
But I'm
professional.
so proud of my daughter for thinking outside the box and saying,
amazing.
We've got nothing in Dunstable. There's we've got the Chums, but that's in Rest Park. You know, if you live in Dunstable, that's a long old journey just to get there.
Yeah.
That's
too far. Rest Park is on the way to Bedford, right?
Yeah.
That's miles away.
It's miles, right down the A6.
And we talked, when I met you at the Mayor's office, we talked about a charity football match.
Yes.
I know Matt's not in a great space right now, but I know we will catch up with him. We're still really keen as a company, Greenbridge, to support that, because you wanted to have a bench.
Yes. Legends on a bench.
Yes, which will be lovely.
Suicide prevention bench.
So as soon as Matt's ready, we'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
I know the lads at Greenbridge are really competitive, and I said they actually are like league players. They are actually really good, and they said, "Oh, we're really good as well." So it's going to be a good,
it'd be nice.
good day.
Yes,
to raise awareness.
Yeah.
Most importantly.
Yeah.
To remember Michael. Even more importantly, but about people coming together for the common good.
Yeah.
And that's about men talking, even though the girls at the office were like, well, we can play football. We're like, it's about the guys, but if you need to, get involved, then come along as well.
We'll have some cheerleaders.
Yes. That's what I said to them, you could be cheerleaders. It's really about, I think women as women, we talk.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit easier for us.
Apart from when you're in grief.
Yeah.
Because then you hold it in.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Completely. Too painful to keep going. It's not about going over it, but visiting something that's so... I mean, you've given birth to that child.
Yeah.
I know men understand, my husband cried at both the birth of my children, but you didn't. And I can't express to him that connection.
No, well, you were joined for 9 months without anybody else.
Yeah.
You grew it.
Yeah.
You grew that child.
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
To then not have that child around, or to have that phone call, because I speak to both of mine, every day, you okay? And they go, yeah, even though they're playing PlayStation, not paying attention to anything I say. So I think, okay, you're in a good headspace because you're doing whatever.
Yeah.
To not have that, like if I go on holiday, and I thought, oh my God, I haven't called them. And they go, we're all right. And I'll ring them at 2 in the morning to say you're okay. They're like, but it's something that we need. Some think it's overprotective. Something. It's your relationship with that child. Yeah. So anything that we can do to support Emily and her really inspirational, what's the word I'm looking for? Group.
Yeah.
If we can get some professionals to come along,
that'd be lovely.
Talk
Absolutely.
to members. Anything we can do to support you, we will. Thank you for sharing something. So I don't think I was quite prepared for how emotional. I knew it was going to be emotional.
And thank you for a therapy session, because that's what I feel like I've had now.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I think because you're at home and you cry.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I put my Christmas tree up. Don't shoot me. But
I'm putting mine up tomorrow.
But obviously last year, when it was still very raw, I got quite a lot of decorations, you know, remembering my son and things like that.
Yeah.
So putting those on the tree again this year.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, you cry.
Of course.
You have your moment. But I don't think I've actually cried this much and realised how much it's still so deep, so raw, so new. I mean, we're a year on and it's still so very new.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, people, one day at a time, one day at a time. It's one action at a time.
Literally it is, until you've gone through. I mean, I haven't gone through, you know, the loss of a child, praise God, but when I lost my mum and I was closer to my dad, even though my mum was my mum, and we did have a fantastic relationship, but I was daddy's girl.
Yeah.
So, and what's awful now is, and I need to get it off the TV, I've got a Fire Stick, don't shoot me, and it pops up with pictures.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Even, so it's been 11 years.
Yeah.
Every single photo, because he's had this big beaming smile, he's always helping others. I can't do it. I have to literally walk out the room, and Colin, my husband, will go, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, come back in. Tell me when the picture's off the screen." I can't do it.
Yeah.
So a year on, I understand. People say time's a healer. It's not. I'm sorry.
You
know,
just
for all
learn
those
to
health
live with
professionals.
it.
Yeah. You just take one day at a time.
Yeah.
One action at a time.
Yeah.
Sometimes just to get out of bed in the beginning. I mean, when my dad passed, I don't think I got out of bed for about 3 weeks. Didn't eat for 3 weeks. I remember it well.
Yeah.
Same with my mum. That was worse, I think, because she had dementia. Although she knew no one apart from me.
Wow.
She's the only one. Probably
Once
because I was
seen,
so
never
naughty.
forgotten.
Because I was so naughty as a child, she probably thought I wasn't naughty. I was mischievous, and she would say, "Jackie, is that you?" But in the end, she was calling my husband Frank, which was my dad. But she always remembered me, and that stays with me quite a lot. And I know she's up at the Vow, and they won an award at the Luton Community Awards which was lovely. Those people work so hard to make sure that space is so kept well, peaceful, and just just feel like she's okay.
Yeah.
She's okay. So for them to win an award, I just thought how amazing that they remember the people that people forget.
Yeah.
Because doing that job every day, burying people, standing by the roadside, but everyone's just breaking down, and they never cry. They're so strong, and they always help you, dig and stuff and whatever. So for them, thank you to Luton Community Awards for recognising those champions that just aren't spoken about.
Yeah, the unsung heroes.
That's the word I was looking for. Words. I should say this podcast will come out, and I'm just snotting all the time, which is just awful. But it's reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can we just share Michael's picture?
Yeah, please do.
Can we share Michael at Leeds, the groundsman at Leeds Football Club? This is when they got their promotion.
Yeah, yeah.
And
not the last time, the time before. Yeah.
So he gets to hold the trophy.
Yeah, he
Beautiful
just cut the
smile.
grass at the stadium that day, and he saw the cup and he went, "I want a picture. I want a picture."
And he got one.
And he sent the pictures to me.
Lovely.
And that was a very proud moment from being an apprentice
to actually
at such a huge company.
Yeah.
And then, he's there full time as a proper member of staff.
And thank you to the guy that met him at Leeds Station, and
whoever
you are.
Whoever you are.
Praise
God. Because I've never found out who it was. But
yeah.
Absolutely.
But, thank you to him for giving Michael that opportunity.
Life. And that life. Absolutely.
Which is lovely. So
Absolutely.
thank you to him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie. We will be having you back once Emily and Matt set this foundation up to support you and to talk about the charity football match once that happens.
Yeah.
And really just to echo the sentiment of pick up the phone.
Yeah, definitely.
Pick up the phone. Mum, dad, best friend, whoever.
Yeah.
Samaritans, Mind, Total Wellbeing, all of those charities that are here to help.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for sharing it with us.